Career transition isn't just about finding a new job. It's about reframing your values. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 3 steps on how to identify your transferable skills, align them with market demands, and structure your next move with clarity. So let's dive in. So what is the real challenge here? I have found that many professionals feel stuck, and it's not because they lack skills, but because their values aren't legible to the current market. An example of this is Sarah. She was an education manager who led national rollouts, built scalable training systems, and coached teams through change. But her job applications kept getting filtered out. She wasn't being seen for the strategic thinker that she was. So once she mapped her transferable skills and reframed her story, she landed a strategic role in workforce planning, a role that didn't even exist 5 years ago. Her success wasn't luck. It was clarity, structure, and alignment. So let's look at step 1, identifying transferable skills. Your most valuable skills aren't often listed in your job title. They're embedded in how you solve problems. Let's say, for example, you were a training director. You might have led a national compliance rollout. But it's just not admin, right? It's strategic planning, stakeholder engagement, and change management. Or maybe you're a YouTube strategist, sequencing playlists for engagement. That's audience psychology and data fluency, skills that transfer to marketing, UX, or content strategy. So when you audit your roles and group your skills by function, like communication analysis or tech fluency, you start to see patterns. Here you can use the STAR method to surface achievements that show impact, not just activity, which can help you with behavioral questions in interviews. In order to tease out some of these transferable skills that you may not be aware of, ask yourself the following questions. What do people ask you for help with? What achievements energized you most? And what systems do you naturally optimize? By answering these questions, you might find additional transferable skills that you've never been aware of. Moving on to step 2, how to evaluate your market fit. Skills are only powerful when they're aligned with market demand. Let's say you're eyeing a workforce consultant role. It needs data storytelling and stakeholder reporting. So you could be 80% there. You might just need to upskill in using Power BI, for example. Or maybe you're targeting the role of a digital content architect. If you've built modular content systems and understand SEO, you're already 90% aligned. You might just need to brush up on schema markups. So the main lesson here is scan job boards, analyze trends, and map your gaps. You'll often find that you're closer to strategic roles than you think, especially if you're systemized. You work or lead cross-functional projects. Here are 3 questions you can ask yourself to tease out additional skills that you may not be aware of. For example, where do you exceed market expectations? What roles excite you, even if you're not fully qualified? What industries value ethical, systemized content? By answering those questions, it can help you to identify what further skills you may need. In step 3, we look at how we structure the move. Career clarity isn't just a mindset, it's a system. Here's a clarity statement that one client used. I help education providers scale copyright safe content ecosystems by designing modular workflows and ethical attribution systems. That statement becomes the backbone of her resume, LinkedIn, and outreach strategy. Through having that clarity, organizations will have a clearer picture of what is it that you're about and how can you help them for the future. So if you're looking to transition from one organization to another, consider breaking down your transition into milestones. For example, in month 1, consider undertaking a skills audit and market scan. For month 2, undertake an asset refresh and outreach. For example, do some additional training courses to upskill yourself in the gaps that you've identified from your first month. Month 3, pilot project or freelance work. Undertake some additional work that you may not be familiar with in order to gain some more experience. Remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Small wins validate your direction and build momentum. Consider asking yourself the following questions. What story does your LinkedIn profile tell you today? And what should it tell you tomorrow? Who can offer insight or referrals? And what small wins can validate your new direction? Your career story is more than a list of tasks. It's a system of value. Every successful transition I've seen started with reframing, not rewriting. When you clarify your strengths, align with market needs, and structure your next move, you stop chasing roles, but rather attract them. So use this framework to pivot with purpose. And if you want support mapping your next move, reach out. In the description below, you'll find my booking link. I'm curious to know what stood out in this video for you today and what are you going to try next? Please comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear what your process is and how you went. And if you're unsure in what areas to build your skills in and need to know what the future demands are for industry, watch this next video.